Hello everyone. What is sin cos tan? This video discusses the first things that trigonometry students should learn. What is sin cos tan? The direct answer is sin, cos, and tan are three of the keys on our scientific calculator. Sin is the shortcut for sine, cos is the shortcut for cosine, tan is the shortcut for tangent. When do we use sine, cosine, and tangent? This question has a very long answer. The first few lines are sine, cosine, and tangent will be used in finding the acute angles and side lengths of right triangles. How do we find the acute angle measures and side lengths of right triangles? The answer to this question is a process. Let's start. Conventionally, in a right triangle, big letters are used to name angles. Angle A, angle B, angle C. Opposite to angle A is side A, opposite to angle B is side B, and opposite to angle C is side C. Along with sine, cosine, and tangent, we need to know these words: opposite side, hypotenuse, and adjacent side. Which of these sides is the opposite side, the hypotenuse, and the adjacent side? In reference to angle A, side A is the opposite side. The longest side is called the hypotenuse, and the side next to angle A that is not the hypotenuse is the adjacent side. In reference to angle B, side B is the opposite side. The hypotenuse does not change, and the side next to angle B that is not the hypotenuse is the adjacent side. We should memorize this acronym: SAW, CA, TOA. S stands for sine, C stands for cosine, T stands for tangent, O stands for opposite side, H stands for hypotenuse, and A stands for adjacent side. What does this acronym mean? The sine of angle A is the ratio of the opposite side and the hypotenuse. That means sine A equals A over C. The cosine of angle A is the ratio of the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. That means to say cosine A equals B over C. And the tangent of angle A is the ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side. That means tan A equals A over B. The sine of angle B is the ratio of the opposite side and the hypotenuse. That means sine B equals B over C. And cosine B is the ratio of the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. That means cosine B is A over C. And tangent of angle B is the ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side. That means tan B equals B over A. Now, let's assign values to all the sides. A equals 2.60 centimeters, B equals 2.80 centimeters, C equals 3.82 centimeters. What is sine of angle A? From our SOHCAHTOA, sine A is the ratio of the opposite side and the hypotenuse. That means 2.60 divided by 3.82, and that is equal to 0.68. How about cosine A? Cosine A is the ratio of the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. That means 2.80 divided by 3.82, and that is equal to 0.73. How about tan A? Tan A is the ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side. That means 2.60 divided by 2.80, and that is equal to 0.93. Now, how about sine B? Sine B is the ratio of the opposite side and the hypotenuse. That means 2.80 divided by 3.82, and that is equal to 0.73. How about cosine B? Cosine B is the ratio of the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. That means 2.60 divided by 3.82, and that is equal to 0.68. How about tan B? Tan B is the ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side. That means tan B equals 2.80 divided by 2.60, and that is equal to 1.08. Now let's have some calculator exercises. Suppose the measure of angle B is 47.4 degrees. What is sine 47.4 degrees? So using our calculator, we press sine and enter 47.4, and we don't need to press degree symbol. Our calculator will give us 0.7360970871. Usually, we will be asked to round our answer to 4 decimal places. So rounding this number to 4 decimal places, it's 0.7361. If your calculator gives you negative 0.272615250, your calculator is in radian mode, and you have to change it from radian to degree mode. Now, how about cosine 47.4 degrees? Again, you have to press cos key, then enter the number 47.4 and just ignore the degree symbol. Our answer in 4 decimal places is 0.6769. How about tan 47.4 degrees? Again, you just press tan key, then enter 47.4, and our answer in 4 decimal places is 1.0875. Now suppose cosine of angle A equals 0.7361. How do we find the degree measure of angle A? So if this would be the case, using our calculator, we need to press shift cos and enter the number 0.7361. And our answer rounded to 1 decimal place is 42.6. Now let's have some exercises in finding the measure of an acute angle. What is the measure of angle A. So we can use either sine, cosine, or tangent. If we are going to use sine, sine of angle A is the ratio of the opposite side and the hypotenuse. That's 2.60 divided by 3.82. Since we need the degree measure, we need to press shift sign. So that's shift sign, then 2.60 divided by 3.82, and this is our answer rounded to 1 decimal place. Notice that we use the opposite side and the hypotenuse, meaning to say, even without this value here, we can still find the degree measure of angle A. How about if we are going to use cosine? So cosine is the ratio of the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. So that means 2.80 divided by 3.82. Since we need the degree measure of angle A, we need to press shift cos and then 2.80 divided by 3.82. And of course, we will get the same answer. Notice here that we use the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. That means even if this side is not given, we will still be able to find the degree measure of angle A. How about if we are going to use tan? So tangent of angle A is the ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side. So that means 2.60 divided by 2.80. Since we need the degree measure of the angle, we need to press shift tan, then 2.60 divided by 2.80. And of course, we will get the same answer. Now, how about the measure of angle B? So we know that angle A plus angle B equals 90 degrees. So to find the measure of angle B, it's just 90 degrees minus 42.9 degrees, and that is equal to 47.1 degrees. Now, let us have some exercises in finding the missing sides. In this triangle, angle A measures 43.6 degrees, side A measures 5.32 centimeters, and we are going to find sides B and C. First, let's find side B. In reference to this angle, this side is called the opposite side, and this side that we are going to find is the adjacent side. So it's OA. From SOHCAHTOA, it's opposite over adjacent. So that's tangent. So we will set up our equation. So tangent of angle A equals the opposite side over the adjacent side. Now we are going to substitute. Angle A is 43.6 degrees. Opposite side equals 5.32, and then adjacent side is letter B. This is the side that we are going to find. We have this equation. Tan 43.6 degrees equals 5.32 over B. To find B, we can switch tan 43.6 and B. That gives us B equals 5.32 over tan 43.6 degrees. Now, using our calculator, we are going to have 5.32 divided by tan 43.6, excluding the degree symbol. Our answer, rounded to 2 decimal places, is 5.59. Now, let's find C. Again, in reference to this angle, this side is the opposite side, and the side that we are going to find is the hypotenuse. So it's OH. from our acronym SOHCAHTOA, we are going to use sine. So we are going to set up our equation. Sine of angle A equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Now let us substitute. Our A is 43.6. Our opposite side is 5.32, and then our hypotenuse is side C. So we have sine 43.6 degrees equals 5.32 over C. Now to find C, we can switch C and sine 43.6 degrees. So that's C equals 5.32 over sine 43.6. Using our calculator, that's 5.32 divided by sine 43.6. And our answer rounded to 2 decimal places is 7.71. Now, let's have another example. In this triangle, the measure of angle B is 39.4 degrees. Then side C is 9.23 centimeters. And we are going to find side A and side B. First, let's find side A. In reference to this angle, side A is called the adjacent side, and this known side is called the hypotenuse. So it's A and H. So from our SOHCAHTOA, we are going to use cosine. We are going to set up our equation. So cosine of angle B equals the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Now let's substitute. B is 39.4, adjacent side is A, and hypotenuse is 9.23. This is what we get. Now, to find A, we multiply cosine 39.4 degrees and 9.23. So that's A equals 9.23 times cosine 39.4 degrees. Now, using our calculator, we can enter 9.23 times cos 39.4. And our answer, rounded to 2 decimal places, is 7.13 centimeters. Let's find side B. In reference to this angle, side B is the opposite side, and the known side is the hypotenuse. Now it's OH. From our acronym SOHCAHTOA, we will use sine. Now we will set up our equation. So it's sine B equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Now let's substitute. Our B is 39.4 degrees. Our opposite side is B. Then our hypotenuse is 9.23. So we have sine 39.4 degrees equals B over 9.23. Now to find B, we just multiply 9.23 and sine 39.4 degrees. So using our calculator, we just enter 9.23 times sine 39.4. And our answer, rounded to 2 decimal places, is 5.86 centimeters. The question, what is sin cos tan, has been answered, and the first things that trigonometry students should know have been gone over. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Teacher Rejil. Keep safe.